Hello! If we've never met before, my name is Alkovic. I am an Alchemist Bunny VTuber that primarily makes content over on Twitch and TikTok, where my usernames are respectively Alkovic and AlkovicVT. I stream a variety of games, but mainly RPG games and horror games. And I'm a little bit late to the party, but this past year I discovered my love for the Resident Evil franchise. It all started when I was watching my partner play Resident Evil Village, and I quickly became obsessed. Admittedly, I've been playing the games out of order based on which ones I think will pique my interest the most, but I have discovered an obsession for one Mr. Leon Kennedy over the past few months by playing these games. Resident Evil 2 Remake has actually become one of my favorite all-time games. I had so much fun playing that game and immediately went to go play the original Resident Evil 4 after completing it. So, needless to say, I am very excited for Resident Evil 4 Remake. It's probably going to be one of the highlights of my year. And good old Game Informer actually dropped a mega bomb of Resident Evil 4 Remake content and footage and articles last week, so I figured while I try to dip my toes into creating content for YouTube, I could react and provide my thoughts, what I'm excited about, what's interesting to me, and all of that good stuff. So why don't we take a look? Alright, so I have the video pulled up here. Admittedly, this is not going to be my first time watching this. This will be my second time watching this. But the first time I watched it, it was while I was at work. So I think I will be able to get a better experience watching it the second time. You know how when you experience something the first time, it doesn't always register correctly? And I was kind of freaking out the whole time, so oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, let's hit play. Okay, so much love to Game Informer, but so this is kind of like the first wave of new content that we've got since the last trailer for the game dropped during the Resident Evil showcase. I think that was like back in October or something. I really wish that I could hear what they were saying. But unfortunately the voiceover is much louder than the gameplay dialogue. But as the host said, it looks like this is a scene from in the church. I'm assuming it's like shortly after they arrive in the church. And I'm just gonna come right out of the gate and say that I'm a huge fan of the RE engine that the team at Resident Evil has been using for their remakes. I think the graphics are just so delicious. They are so beautiful. I love how realistic they are. Like the fact that you can even see like texture on Leon's skin is crazy. And okay, so one thing about me is that I kind of had a love-hate relationship with Ashley when I was going through my own Resident Evil 4 playthrough. She would annoy me a lot, but then she would also have her moments where I was like, you know what, she's kind of cute. She's trying her best. But I must say that I really like her redesign. She looks so good, but I think it's a great change. She looks a lot more mature because I remember when I was playing through the game, my community was telling me that Ashley was around 20 years old. Because if you've played the OG, you know that she's a little bit sexualized from time to time, and she also makes a comment at the end of the original where she wants to do some overtime with Leon. So I was a little bit confused about her age because she looks really young in the OG. So I am glad that they made her look a lot more mature, in my opinion.
Resident Evil 4 Remake, Chapter 5. We're going to be seeing some church gameplay, some Ashley gameplay.
Okay, so I was trying to I've seen this meme floating around on Twitter,
Church gameplay,
and I was trying to remember where it came from. But when Leon when Leon does this, it is like my new favorite reaction image ever.
And some of the cabin fight, as well as just overall fighting Ganado and yeah, trying to stay alive. So we've got about 12 minutes.
All right, so we're entering the gameplay now.
Show you today, and I'm joined.
I love that you can crouch and hide. I think that is going to be such a nice addition to gameplay.
By Marcus
Make it more
Stewart.
interesting.
How are you, Marcus?
I'm feeling great. I'm happy to be seeing this section again because, as I mentioned in the cover story I wrote,
I don't know how well. Let me crank the volume, but one thing that I noticed in the last gameplay showcase that Game Informer uploaded is that the ambient noise of the villagers chanting is so eerie and creepy. As a person who is really into the creepy side and the horror aspect of the Resident Evil games that have been coming out within recent years, I'm all here for it. So let's crank it up and see if you can hear it.
Absolutely. So yeah, we are. This footage starts out, and we are, simply escaping from the church.
It's so good. And if you happen to be listening to this with headphones on, which I'm doing right now, it's like only coming through the right side of my headphone. I love it when they do sound design like that. Ugh, it really like adds to the experience for sure.
This is how many hours into the game would you say this is, Marcus?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I also love the addition of the flashlight. One of the main reasons why I loved RE2 Remake so much was because I really felt like it was a horror game. It was very tense and very scary at parts. So when I saw pictures of Leon using a flashlight and um, the environment being very dark, I immediately got super scared because even though jump scares can be a little bit stressful, I love experiencing them, especially when I'm playing games on stream because not gonna lie, I feel like it provides good content for sure. And I don't know, the scary games have just really grown on me recently. So I'm hoping that this means that there will be more jump scares because the original Resident Evil 4 to me felt more like an action game rather than a horror game.
'Cause we don't know how long the other chapters are. It's got to be at least probably like 3-ish hours, I would guess.
Yeah, yeah.
This is not our gameplay, by the way. If people are wondering, this is a B-roll that
Correct.
Capcom provided, so this is someone on the team playing, not us.
Yes. Yes, we did play through this section, everything that you see today. An important disclaimer, Capcom did help out with accommodations for travel. That means like flights, hotel. In association with this cover trip, we didn't have any of those conversations. Like that's our bosses that handle all that. We kind of just show up and do our job.
I love that they added a cutscene for Ash. I'm assuming this is the first time. Because if I remember correctly, you find Ashley shortly before, either shortly before or shortly after going to the church. Y'all can roast me in the comments if I'm wrong. I know that will happen for sure. But I remember doing my first playthrough and having to go down the ladder with Ashley for the first time in the original. And I was so confused when she didn't follow me down the ladder. And then I realized that there was a catch interaction. And I am glad that they added a cutscene for that because not only does it kind of like give more relationship building between these two, but it also maybe will help explain a mech a little bit easier.
But it is an important disclaimer. That being said, we are not influenced by that.
Roost, I've secured Baby Eagle.
Copy that. Is she okay?
Affirmative.
Well done, Condor 1. I'll dispatch a chopper ASAP.
All right, I know that the comm system was a big concern for fans of the original game. I don't know how I feel about the new comm system that they have with Hunnigan. I like the idea of her being able to talk to us while we continue playing the game, but I don't necessarily like the interface. I wish they could have done something more original. It seems kind of lazy to me to just have her in a box here. I wish that they would have made it. I want to say that I wish they would have made it more holographic, but given the time period that this game is set in, I feel like that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Especially because it's just like a static floating box. It just feels very lazy to me. I wish it would have been integrated into the actual environment of the game instead of literally feeling like it's just a layer on top of gameplay that already exists. You know what I mean?
Copy that.
Hurry. The weather is getting worse.
I do love Hunnigan's design though. She looks real good.
See the Hunnigan conversations are in game now, which is nice.
Yeah,
and
you can kind of
we're,
move around while it's happening.
Yeah, nice shot of the map there, going to the helicopter extraction point where nothing will go wrong, I'm sure.
One common theme throughout this video is me going to be commenting on Leon's dialogue because one of the reasons why I fell in love with his character in RE2 was all of the cute little things that he would say. I know rookie Leon in RE2 is going to be a lot different than this Leon in this game, but I just remember going through my first playthrough of RE2 and thinking it was so funny how much he would swear while you're battling as him. Like when you're shooting zombies and stuff, he would constantly be swearing. And I actually ended up implementing those sound bites into my stream for sound redeems. So I have been really interested in what they would add to that because when you're playing as Leon in the original 4, he's obviously silent. And the only time he really talks is during cutscenes. So here he's telling Ashley it's dangerous, stay close. He said something along the lines of that. So I think it's just very sweet that they're going to be interacting more. I think it's going to help build their relationship because I don't want to bring out the Leon and Ashley shippers because that's definitely not my vibe, but I do view them as kind of like big brother, little sister slash Leon giving very fatherly vibes. So that's very endearing to me. So I will be very happy if they play that up more throughout the game. We saw that they will be doing side quests in the remake, which is similar to the original. They had the blue medallions, but it seems like they're going to be expanding upon side quests where there's these flyers scattered around the town that you can interact with. This one says the treacherous twins should not be allowed to rest in peace for joining that evil cult. Won't anyone destroy the emblems engraved on their tombstones? Destroy the tombstone emblems and you get spinels, which you can exchange for money at the merchant. So this is something that you did not do in the original, this quest specifically. So I think it will be fun to have these optional side quests. When I saw on Twitter that there will be side quests added in the game, I got really excited because I thought it would expand upon the stories, but it seems like it's kind of just like little tasks that you can do to earn some extra money. But either way, I am welcome to anything that will make the gameplay longer because I am going to want my experience in this game for the first time to last forever. Look at how strong
Yeah,
Leon
we're
is.
making our way through
We been
here.
knew that though.
Leon being a gentleman, moving that out the way because he's all big and strong.
In the background, you can hear Ashley saying, I'm definitely going to catch a cold. I think it's very cute that they added her little dialogues randomly. She'll say some more stuff throughout this video. So even though it seems like Ashley's going to be a stronger, more developed character, she might still be a little bit of a spoiled brat. She's here concerned about getting wet, catching a cold, but she is the president's daughter, so we can't fault her for that, right?
Spread out.
This is another mechanic that they changed a little bit, so I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear. I'll try to raise the volume in post, but Leon tells Ashley to spread out. I was interested in what they were going to do with this because I loved the wait, follow me. I would spam that all the time because I loved hearing Leon say that, so I am a little bit sad that they changed that, but he does still get to talk to her and tell her to stay back. She will not stay in one place. Game Informer has told in articles, and I think probably previous videos, maybe they'll mention it in here again, but instead of staying back and not moving, she will just create more distance between her and Leon. So it might be a little bit more difficult to keep Ashley safe in the remake because you can't just tell her to go stay in a room while you go fight all the enemies. I'm interested to see how it plays out. And you can sneak up on the villagers like this. I think that's such an awesome addition. I love it. And then he tells her to come on. I love it. I love it. It's a good voice line. It's a good voice line for me. Thank you, Capcom.
And yeah, this part was
I love that Ashley reacts now to the villagers. You can hear her saying like, "Oh God," and then she's about to say, "What's wrong with these people?" And she says that a couple other times throughout this video. So again, I'm really excited that they're giving her more personality.
pretty fun to get through. I tried to get through it stealthily the first couple times.
Here we see Ashley being carried away. And a welcome change is that instead of relying on your gun to get down the people that carry Ashley away, you can actually go up and stab them in the neck. So it might be a little bit easier to retrieve her. So he actually, before the grenade launches, he says it's gonna be bright. That's so interesting to me that he's warning her. It's just little things like that that make me so happy.
The chapter, it's gonna jump around at points, but as you can see, the flash grenade still very effective against those tentacle transformed Ganado. As we enter the cemetery,
All
you get a
right,
little
here
bit of
he's doing the side
a little
quest
bit of
that
a
we
taste
looked
of one
at.
of the side quests, which is
Yeah.
sort of a spin on the cemetery puzzle. As you can see, you can still
Okay, so the side quest is gonna perhaps replace the puzzle in the church cemetery. I remember really struggling with that one, and I actually had to look it up because I could not for the life of me figure it out.
shoot birds' nests to get those precious eggs, or I guess a chicken egg that's in a bird nest in the tree. Don't ask me how that works. You know how it is. But I mean, in the original game, you killed snakes and
And
you
here
got
we're
chicken
about to
eggs,
get
which
our
is always
first look
kinda
at the
weird.
merchant.
There he is.
Took care of a request. Well done.
Man himself.
Look at you, mate.
So you can see here turning in side quests,
I got
which is what you're going to be
something new
doing.
for ya.
I love the UI of the merchant's shop now. It has a lot
One
more
has to wonder how
information.
he moves with all that heavy equipment.
I love that they added all of this information about the weapons because, as someone who has no experience with guns, I found myself wondering, okay, what does this weapon do exactly? And we have like a whole diagram here that will show the strengths of each weapon, which I think is a great addition.
Equipment in that coat,
A choice
you
of
know,
an
must be pretty strong. It's kind of like a
I must say, when they first introduced the merchant and people were complaining about his voice, I didn't really get it. I thought his voice was still pretty good, but hearing the voice of the merchant more, I am a little bit disappointed. I don't hate the new merchant. It's cute that they kept some of the original voice lines from the merchant, though. Alright, so this is a new side quest. I need someone to help get rid of the wild dog that's been roaming around the village. It'll be easy to spot. It's not like normal dogs. So when I first saw the screenshot of there was a screenshot floating around of the dog that this quest is about, and I was excited because I thought it was the dog from when Leon's like, "Hey, it's that dog," which is like one of the best parts of the game because it's not a dog, Leon, it's a wolf. But this dog is different. These are if y'all played the original, it's like the dogs that attack you when you're in the church graveyard, the ones that go all Plagueis mode and they're super spooky.
oh, so there's the wild dog quest. That was one of the more involved quests that we saw so far.
Absolutely.
We need to keep moving.
And you won't see the solution in this.
That's funny. So I think in the background, Ashley was asking Leon if they could take a break, and Leon said, "We gotta keep moving." She just like scoffed in disgust. She was like, "Ugh, it's so." I love that they're giving them much more interaction together.
There is another path behind us if we were to turn right out of that door that goes into an under.
Ooh. The Thirstening is gonna jump out real quick, but the way he said, "I'm coming, get behind me," he sounds so strong. I just love a confident Leon.
Underground tunnel that like takes you up through a well in the village. So there's a lot of paths available.
Yeah, like when we both came through here, we just assumed just the way the camera's framed. We're like, okay, it's the only way to go.
That area of the game looked really spooky. Again, that gives me hope that there's going to be a little bit more of a tense, scary feel, because did y'all see how dark those hallways were?
But yeah, one of the producers pulled us aside and was like, hey, check this out. And we were like, oh, okay.
The low kick, the low kick. So I've seen a couple different kicks that Leon can do. It looks like he can do kind of like a high roundhouse kick, and then he just did that low kick. It'll be interesting to see how you activate those.
Here we go.
That's another thing that I love so much that they added is that I don't know if it's just when Leon is interacting with others, because he did the same thing in the cabin scene with Lewis that I think is also going to be in this video, but he says not bad, right? When he's doing certain things. I'm sure it's randomized, like I think the other voice lines were in 2 Remake. But my Leon appreciator TM soul, it gives me so much joy hearing him say stuff like that.
Got the village at night. That lady thought she could take a picture for Leon. Didn't work out for her. And this is
I was gonna just comment on the rain. I know that there's a lot of talk about
Rain Gate.
Rain Gate. I do agree. I think it can be tuned down a little bit.
The rain gate situation was interesting to me. I feel like people always find something to complain about. To me, is it a little bit is it a little bit dramatic? Yes. Is it something that the internet should blow up over? I don't think so. I've seen people speculating that they might be going for like a classic horror vibe, like in really old horror movies where it's super rainy and dark and it just adds to the spookiness of it all. I'm curious to see, I don't know anything about game dev, so I'm not sure if the game is in too late of stages to do this, but I wonder if they might change the effect of the rain based on the way that the internet reacted to it.
But um,
I do love the way that the rain is like radiating off of them. It's just like the attention to detail is so good.
it does feel like intentionally, like it is intentionally
Like, look at how
obfuscating the
spooky this
environment,
looks.
and kind of adds to that tension. Like you can't see what you're shooting. I do agree, though. It's a bit much. And it would be great, Marcus, if there's like a rain slider. I'm kidding.
They lift Ashley up to do her thing. Get Leon up there. Yeah, it just makes the interiors creepier. Like that. Like the first time that owl made me jump because you just see the glowing eyes. In the
Little
dark.
jump
Yeah.
scares,
Oh my God,
maybe.
what is that?
I will say there were a couple times when I was playing the demo where I was kind of in a very dark environment and Leon wasn't pulling up his flashlight, which is kind of frustrating. So I'm just kind of like clambering around in the dark. It was mostly like outdoor. Oh,
There he
there's
is.
the dog.
When I first saw this scene, I literally lost my shit because Leon is so cute so far in this game. I know cute is such the wrong word to describe him, and the bros are gonna come after me for even calling him that. But Homeboy literally sees a Plagueis dog and is like, "Hi there." He's so cute. I'm like so excited to see how they make his personality in this remake because he's kind of cocky and corny in the original. And people were worried that they would make him too much of an edgelord when they dropped the first trailer of this game, but based on what we've seen so far with just his little quips here and there, I have a feeling that he will still be kind of silly, funny, goofy, and I'm so excited for that.
Dog.
Look at that thing. It's got like a weird. It looks like a scorpion tail. Now that I'm looking at it again. So yeah, Capcom also pointed out, for those wondering, that this dog is
Oh,
not
look
the
at how
dog that
did you
Leon
guys see how crazy the Plagueis were right there? I feel like that was a really good shot of the Plagueis villagers. They look so
Those
crazy.
wondering that
Look at those things. That's so terrifying. I love it.
this dog is not the dog that Leon can rescue in the original game, because in this game he's presumably dead. So at the time we kind of were like, oh, maybe this is the dog, but they were very clear to point out, like, nope, different dog. And you're like, okay.
There we saw the roundhouse
But
kick.
yeah,
Very
that
nice.
dog
Also
fight is
wouldn't-
pretty hard.
They also wouldn't definitively answer if it was the same dog in this game as in the old game. In terms of the one that's dead at the beginning of the game, they're like, maybe it's not the same dog, and it's like, okay.
So you see a blue medallion up there as Leon takes it out. So you
Yeah.
see it's 1 of 5. So I asked Capcom about that, because in the original game it's kind of like 15 in the same area, and they said that that side quest reappears in different parts of the map. So you're going to be shooting. It sounds like you're going to be
Here's
shooting
our
medallions
boy,
outside of just, like,
Lewis.
the village area, and they just sort of like divide them into like batches of 5.
This scene is so good. We. Ah, we love an angry Leon. He's so powerful, and Lewis looks so good too. Do you guys say Lewis? Because I've heard both, and I never know what to call him, and I kind of feel bad about it.
Hey, I see you found your missing senorita.
Senorita has a name, Miss Ashley. You are?
And that's why I think Ashley is gonna have more character development. She just seems just more confident, less of a pushover, and I'm here for it.
Who are you? What are you doing here? Very good questions, unfortunately. Hi, now. Okay, it's game time.
I just realized that Leon like nodded in agreement when Lewis was like, "It's game time." That was cute. But
And
here
due
we're
to the
about to
cuts,
have a huge battle sequence.
there's a lot of
This part of the game was so stressful for me in the original, so I'm excited to do it again.
that village before the bridge that we.
Also, that's so subtle, but I love that you can kick. It was just a little kick. That's all he needed to do, but just a little kick to get loot from boxes because for me, I don't have the best reaction time, so I kind of like was a little bit slow to pull out my knife and then knife the boxes in the original, so this is a welcome change for me.
Ran over that you can fight through and explore. Like there's a lot that they didn't show in this footage. It's where, at least during our playthrough, the brute first appears, the cow-headed enemy.
Right.
In that area just before the bridge that we crossed.
All right, so here we did see confirmation of this before the video dropped, but you can board up windows like you were able to in 2. I don't think anyone was begging for this mechanic to come back, but I do think it's cool that they added it in.
But,
Yeah, because in the footage we've put out of this, people have seen the cow guy shows up in this
appears
fight,
here.
but you
Yeah.
actually fight him well before this. So
yeah, so when
it
he
seems
shows
like
up
he's
in the
gonna-
fight,
Ah, there's Leon saying not bad again. I just love it so much. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
a rec-
That
were you saying?
knife parry was very slick. Was there a prompt for that? I need to go back and look.
when
it
he
seems
shows
like
up in
he's
the
gonna
fight,
be a what were you saying?
yeah,
It's
he's definitely
happening so
appears here.
fast.
But you
Yeah.
actually fight him well before this. So
Yeah, so when
it
he
seems
shows
like
up in
he's
the
gonna
fight,
be a-
Was it X melee? I want to be able to do that, but like I said, my reaction time isn't the greatest. I'm gonna have to practice a lot.
what were you saying?
yeah, he's definitely
I wonder if the melee was for the kick, and I'm not sure if I don't know. We'll have to see.
a recurring enemy. But when he shows up in the fight, you've already had to fight him before, and so I feel like it's extra tense because it's like, oh my god, I gotta fight this guy now.
Yes.
So
I saw some people speculating that he might be a single persistent enemy that follows you. I'm
no,
pretty sure that is not the case. Yeah, I think he's
No,
just another enemy type.
So they were talking about there was a new type of enemy that they included in the remake. It's a villager who wears like a cow's head and has a hammer. If you've been keeping up to date, I'm sure you've seen it floating around. But it's interesting that they pointed out that people were speculating that it might be a persistent enemy, kind of like a tyrant or a nemesis. I kind of wish that would have been the thing. It would have been fun to have some kind of persistent enemy chasing us around again. So I'm a little bit let down that it seems like that's not the case because later Game Informer will say that they downed him and he came back multiple times. Which I'm like, well, I haven't played 3 yet. Don't get on me. I'm working on it. But Tyrant did the same thing. We would like quote unquote down him and he would come back. So I'm not sure. I wonder if it's a persistent enemy. I kind of hope that it is because that does add that level of tension, not knowing when he's going to show up. But yeah, we'll just have to see.
I have killed him several times in different areas.
Yeah.
Just a new enemy type.
So this fight was
And here's the
wild,
boy.
as it is in the original, but even more so here. And there he is, Mr. Bullman. There's been a lot of like back and forth, like is he a cow, is he a bull? But I was like, he's got a horn there. Not be a bull thing.
Well, a bull is just a cow. It's a male cow.
I mean, yeah, they're the same thing.
Lewis is so
You know,
cute.
I mean, but you know, like bulls have horns.
Okay,
You know,
that's fair. That's fair. Listen,
he's got a single.
I just had a crazy thought. This is just my brain. What if you accidentally shot Lewis? Do you guys think you could do that? I never tried doing that in the original because I was too stressed out trying to clear the cabin, but I'm curious. I may have to try it even though I don't want to hurt the guy. I'm just curious.
There, it looks like, as Leon just gets pummeled.
and yeah, that's the end of the action gameplay we've got to show off. This is a look at putting gems inside of treasures to increase their value. Of course, if you different combinations of gems.
Yeah, so everything is just a little bit more detailed in the remake, which I appreciate. It shows like how many gems you add, the value that will add overall. Like each gem will add an increased
inside of,
value. See, like the red one is going to give you 3,000, the blue one's 4,000. So I think that's interesting. Again, not really necessary, but I appreciate the extra details for sure.
Treasures to increase their value. Of course, if you different combinations of gems net you different bonuses.
And this is something that I just realized because of a Twitter post earlier today. Everyone memes about the inventory management in this game because you literally have to play Tetris in order to fit everything in your case. But here at the typewriter, it shows that you have a storage, which is like crazy because everyone was so excited to see the case mechanic come back, but it actually doesn't really matter because you can just put stuff in the storage if you don't have enough room, which I'm excited about because I'm really bad at managing my resources in Resident Evil games. It's something that I gotta work on. But yeah, I thought that was super interesting. I appreciate it. I'm sure there will be people that have negative things to say about that, but it is a welcome change for me.
There are now customized cases that have different bonuses. So like the black case has an increased drop rate for L resources.
Oh, that's interesting.
You can pick up charm.
That's so cool that they have a case that will increase drop rate. And the charms thing, I love. Anything that has just a little bit of customization, I think is super cute. I know that there are charms that you can get for the case if you pre-order the game right now. I'm interested to see what other kind of charms you get. I think that's a cute little addition that's definitely going to add an extra level of gameplay. Like, I wonder how many. Oh, there's 30 charms. So if you want to be a completionist, you can try to get all 30. Ooh, that's going to add some longevity to the game that I really do appreciate.
Charms as well, with little
And the
chicken
charms
charm.
have perks.
Charms and the cases.
That's
They
awesome.
give you little passive bonuses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can do
100% health recovery. I love that. I'm just now realizing that. That's so awesome. I'm excited.
that stuff in the typewriter menu as you saw. So you can't do that all the time, just when you
Look at the
those,
little
safe
chicken.
points.
So cute. I don't think this will happen, but I hope that there's like an Ada Wong charm. That'd be super cute. I will admit that I'm a huge Leon and Ada shipper, so I will take any crumb that I can get. Cute.
To keep up with all of our coverage.
Ah, I'm so excited. Alright, so that was everything in the video. There's a lot of other content out there floating around about the game, but I feel like that video was the biggest bomb that we've had dropped on us so far. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave your thoughts below, what you're excited for. I can't wait until the game comes out. The day that I'm filming this, I think there's like 49 or 48 days left. I'm so excited. If you like this video, please consider following my Twitch. I stream there multiple times a week. Lately, my schedule's been shifting around a lot because of my day job, but I also always post when I'm going live on Twitter, so please check that out. And I also post silly, funny, goofy memes on TikTok. So I would appreciate it if y'all checked out my socials and help support my content. All right, y'all, I'll see you next time. Hopefully the next month and a half or so goes by quickly for us so that we can finally play this game. I'm so excited. Take care, y'all.